Okay, this next segment on mouse guns, I want to talk about the Kahr Arms P380. This is the P version. I think Kahr makes the CW380, I think, which is a little bit less expensive. And really, even the CW380 is just as good of a little pistol. The P380 series just has a few little upgrades that I like, and it was in the budget, so I bought it. All right, so the difference here between the Ruger LCP2 and the Kahr Arms P380, this is a double action only trigger. Okay, I'll get a little closer. It's a double action only trigger. And since my hands are so large, I'm going to turn around like this, and I'm going to show you pretty long trigger pull. And it doesn't have a short reset like the Ruger. See how far I've got to let that out? However, the trigger on this is extremely smooth. I've been a big fan of Kahr Arms pistols for a long time. When I first started the Handgun World podcast back in 2009. By the way, listen to that. Ben's show is called Modern Self-Protection. Mine's Handgun World podcast. Back in 2009, I had a Kahr Arms PM9, still have it. And I'm a big proponent of them because of the smooth double action trigger. I can tell you, if you want to learn how to shoot a double action trigger, how to do it well, I would recommend picking up a Kahr Arms pistol and just practice, because it is so smooth. It's hard to tell you how smooth it is. You just have to pick one up and use it. Let's talk about the sights on this. This has even better sights than the Ruger. This has, actually, you can see it's got dovetailed sights in the rear and in the front. So that's another thing about the Kahr P series. Dovetail in the front and dovetail in the rear. You can switch these out to anything you want. These are the factory sights that come with the P380. And it's not 3-dot. So for some of you who don't like 3-dot sights, it's 2-dot sights. It's got the line. Let me show you this. It's got a line in the back, and then you just drop the front sight onto that in the back. And it's really good. It's really intuitive. It's easy to line up. High quality pistol. It locks back every time on the last round. It's got a very nice and large slide stop, but it's not overly large. It doesn't get in the way. We'll see what happens when Ben shoots it, but when I shoot it, I never hit that by mistake. Also, Kahr supplies a 7-round magazine with it. So it's an 8-round little pistol. 8-round little pistol. I'm pretty sure that LCP2 by Ruger is 6 in the mag plus 1. So I can make this an 8-round pistol. Also has a flush fitting mag. I would say this is pretty close. This pretty closely has my 1,000-round trigger job that I like. And if some of you don't know what my 1,000-round trigger job is, go to Handgun World Podcast and just search. I think it's like episode 120 or 30 or something like that. But search 1,000-round trigger job, and I talk all about it for 45 minutes. It's basically shooting your gun 1,000 rounds. That'll get you good with it. So, let's test out the nice, smooth, double action trigger. Didn't lock back on me. Okay, so I think it was my thumb because it's locked back on me before. Several decent headshots. I will say that I think I prefer the Ruger's trigger over the Kahr P380 trigger. One thing I will say though, and some people think that these double action triggers are actually a little safer. I think I might tend to agree, because you've really got to deliberately press that trigger. I think it'd be pretty difficult to have an accidental discharge with this gun. So there are trade-offs. There are trade-offs. This gun seems to recoil more than the Ruger LCP2, and I can't figure out why. But let me try the flush fitting mag. It's failing to lock back on me. And you know, I mentioned earlier that it didn't, so now it is. I love doing these videos because you get to test out and try to figure out what's going on with them. Maybe my thumb is hitting it, maybe not, we'll see. I'm going to take it to the range again probably next week and concentrate a little bit more, keeping my thumb off of that, and see what happens. Let's see what happens when Ben shoots it.
All right, I'm going to shoot this little Kahr, even though it's against my better judgment. Generally the Kahrs bite me, they sting. I'm not a fan, but I really want to compare it to that Ruger. So I'm going to shoot it anyways, and then I think I broke your gun already.
No, you didn't.
So Kahr says you're supposed to lock it back,
yeah,
and let it go home, and I think that's what I did. Is I didn't. Yeah, nope.
Now it didn't do that for me, Ben. There you go.
So with the first 2 rounds, for some reason, it didn't want to go in battery with this Perfecta ammo. And I wonder if it's an ammo issue or a gun issue. Anyways, it's still not all the way in battery. Now it's all the way in battery. I'm going to shoot it anyways. If this is a self-defense or something, I wouldn't suggest you do that. I've got rods on the range. If I get that one stuck, we can get it out. But normally, don't do that. Do what I say, not what I do. Long double action trigger. I created a malfunction in it. It's biting my hand a little bit, so that might be it. And see, it's just not going into battery for me with this ammo, Bob.
It went into battery when I was shooting the Precision 1 ammo, which is good stuff. You are shooting
I'm shooting Perfecta,
some cheap Perfecta FMJ,
which is normally the cheapest crap you can buy.
Why don't you try the Blazer Brass?
Here live on TV, you're going to see live to video.
Here, shoot these 4 runs. I've had 4 rounds. I've had pretty good luck with Blazer Brass.
We'll see if it's the ammo that this gun doesn't like, or the gun doesn't like me. Could be either.
Well, a lot of people don't like you, guns included.
Thanks. I generally don't get guns that don't like me. See, that one went right into battery, no problem.
It was the ammo, Ben.
It went no problem.
And it locked back for you.
Locked back. Not a fan. You can see dirty hands right here. That's where it's rubbing me when I get my hand up too far on it. For me, also, when I go to shoot it, my thumb wants to sit right on that slide release, so I have to think about it and put it down further than I want to. And when I put the whole hand in, I start gripping it like this, almost revolver style. I don't like this gun. This is not the gun for me. Kahrs have never been great for me. I don't know, a little Kahr 45 works for me, but these little 380s, I've never been a fan. I've had problems with it. We're gonna have Bob shoot some of this Perfecta ammo, see if it's me or the ammo. But you just saw the Ruger ran through this Perfecta ammo without any problems. So I'm gonna give you a magazine of this stuff.
So far at this point, folks, I like the Ruger better. Ben?
I'm with you.
I like the Ruger LCP2 better. I never thought I'd say that because I've been real high on the Kahr P380 since the first time it came out and the first time I got it.
So
I'll try this Perfecta ammo.
Well, here. These are brand new 4 rounds out of the box. I was going to take the ones off of the ground and shoot them, but oh no, they're not going in there.
No, they're not. It's not wanting to go into battery. There. Yeah.
Why don't you just pull that one out and give it up?
No, let's shoot it. See what happens.
All right. And then he's got an out of battery again.
It's not liking this ammo, Ben.
Doesn't want to go in there at all. So
nope, that's ammo.
Get that ammo out of the gun. Be careful with that ammo. Just let it hit the ground. So let's talk about some
in the glove.
Let's talk about some of this 380 stuff for this one. If you're going to carry a Kahr, there's a couple things you got to know about. One is on the malfunctions. Kahrs have been known to catch a round when you're trying to get it in and out of there. To be able to catch the round so that it's sitting in there and it hits the firing pin and actually detonates the round. It has this weird shape right there. It's a real sharp edge. I don't know. I've heard of it happening twice. 2 times I can confirm it. One actually happened to a friend of mine, so I could talk to him about it. And yeah, I shot with him a bunch, and then he came back one day and he had his hand all taped up. I was like, what happened? He tried to catch the round over the top with his car like this, and when he did, it got caught in there, and it's enough to detonate the round in his hand, and he got a little shrapnel from brass in. So if you're going to carry one of these cars, that is a downside of one of these cars. Pay attention, don't get caught. Anytime you do the car, things need to fall down and hit the ground. Don't try to catch it in there. You might detonate the round in your hand. It's not going to kill you, but it really sucks, because what happens is the brass case actually just, it'll explode on you, and then you get all that little brass shrapnel in your hand. If you're a doctor, you can go pick it out yourself, but you might have to go to the emergency room to pick some of it out. Sucks, don't do that. So that would be the one thing I say about these little Kahr 380s, that be careful if you shoot one. They're really nice double actions, great little guns. They don't work for me. They scrap up my hand. Don't like that at all. And I don't know, I've never gotten along with these. The group I shot was a little bit bigger than the one with the Ruger, so I'm a fan of the Ruger more.
Yeah, so am I. Okay, final thoughts. As I mentioned, I like the Ruger better than the Kahr P380, and I've had this car a long time. Nothing against the cars. It's good. When I use my good ammo, when I use my Precision 1 ammunition, or if I use Hornady XTP, it runs like a champ. So it's more ammo fussy, as you saw with that cheap Perfecta ball ammo. It did not like this, but the Ruger ate this up, no problem. Ben, your final thoughts?
Cars have never been for me. I'm sorry, Kahr. The only reason they exist is because Glock didn't want to build single stack 9mm and 380s. We'll see how that goes now that Glock is making them. But they've always been a finely tuned, finely made machine. They're beautiful guns. They shoot wonderfully. They're really... they're just great guns. It's just not for me, is what it comes down to. If you like when you shoot one well, keep it. It'll last you forever. If you don't like it, you're like me and it's too big, or if it rubs your hand, or it doesn't want to lock back, or the slide releases in the wrong place, all that stuff, that's really a me problem, not a gun problem. But just find another gun out there that works for you. To conclude this segment, we want to remind you, if you want more instructional videos like this, especially even on these small mouse guns, Ben and I have some good videos at the Shooters Club where we teach you how to run these. That's at shootersclubmembers.com. Once again, shootersclubmembers.com. Next segment, we're going to go to the Glock 380.